What a lovely day to bake. My name is Arne, a German hobby baker who is living in Luxembourg. Today we are going to bake toast bread. Sourdough toast bread. I was waiting so long for this going to be happen, and now I had some time to come up with a good recipe, and I'm going to show you my process how to make that. So let's get started. This is from Luxembourg with Loaf. The evening before we bake, we prepare our sourdough starter, and the process is simple. You take 50 grams of water, combine it with 50 grams of flour, and then add 5 grams of sourdough starter. Here I'm using my wheat sourdough starter, so the flour is the same flour I'm going to use the next day. We also prepare a Tangzhong. Therefore, we take 10 grams of flour and combine it with 50 grams of milk, and then we stir everything together at a moderate heat. After a few minutes of stirring, this flour paste gets thick. Then transfer it with a spoon in a glass, and then cover it with some thin foil, and then put it in the fridge overnight. At the next day we prepare our main dough, and you see the sourdough has risen overnight. So we need 450 grams of wheat flour, 280 grams of water, the sourdough starter or levain we prepared the day before, the Tangzhong, and then we need 9 grams of salt as well as 30 grams of butter. We start combining the flour and the water. And then we add the sourdough starter. And we also add the Tangzhong. Then you can use dough whisk or a spoon or your hands to incorporate everything together. After a few minutes of stirring, I'm continuing this process with my hands. We just want to ensure that all flour is incorporated. Then we cover the dough and wait 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes it's time to add the butter and the salt to the dough. Use your hands again and then incorporate everything into the dough. This may take a couple of minutes, then cover your bowl again and then let it rest for another 30 minutes. After 30 minutes it's time for doing some stretch and folds. Take the dough from one side and move it all over the dough to the other side. Then rotate the bowl, and you see after a couple of stretch folds that the dough gets a better texture. It has way more strength. Cover it again and wait for another 30 minutes. Now we're doing a lamination. For that, spray your countertop with some water and then put the dough on the countertop. Then stretch the dough to all sides. This will create a lot of tension to the dough. And then fold everything back together. Give it a slap, and then it's time to get the dough back in the bowl. Cover it again and wait another 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're doing coil folds. Wet your hands, and the process is pull the dough up and fold it over. Pull the dough up and fold it over, and then rotate the bowl and then do it again. Then we cover it again, and after 30 minutes, we're doing exactly the same thing again. You realize that the texture of the dough is now very nice and smooth, so this is definitely the last time we're going to do that. Then after this process we wait for 3 to 4 hours. And then it's time to do the shaping. The fermentation is right when you see some bubbles on top of the dough. So flour your countertop and then pull the dough out of the bowl. I am going to do a very easy shaping technique. Spread the dough a little bit and then pull it to the side. Fold it over, pull it to the other side, fold it over again, and fold the dough from the top to the bottom. Flour it a little bit and then use your dough scraper to add a little bit more tension from the sides. And then pull the dough in a loaf pan. You should grease it a little bit with oil or butter. Close the lid and this goes into the fridge. At the next morning it's time to bake. We have preheated the oven to 250 degrees Celsius and then we reduce the temperature to 210 degrees Celsius, that's 410 degrees Fahrenheit, and we bake it with a closed lid for 50 minutes. And this is how the bread looks like. Really nice, and the smell of butter is awesome. Let it cool for some minutes now. So let's cut the bread and see what's inside of our toast. Really nice crumb. And you see the form is getting back even if you squeeze the bread. So enjoy some impressions. Bon appetit.
I hope you liked this video. I really enjoyed that toast. It's super delicious, it's easy to make, and definitely worth to try. If you do the recipe at home, please leave me a comment in the description or link me on Instagram. If you want to do me a favor, please also like this video and subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications that I can reach out to more people. Thanks. Have a nice day, Eddie, and goodbye.